Hello and welcome back to Quick and Healthy with Mr. G. I'll tell you what, it's been pretty hot outside. I live in Northeast Ohio and a lot of you might think this is kind of a rainy area, but I'll tell you what, lately it's been hot and humid. It's been in the upper 80s, lower 90s, and so I haven't been doing a whole lot of cooking on the stove and cooking with the oven. I've been doing a lot more eating fresh vegetables, salads, fresh fruit. I was going to make a fruit salad today, but instead I decided to go ahead and take it a step further, show you how to clean a couple different kinds of fruit, and make some smoothies. Now, not both of the smoothies I'm going to make are going to be fruit smoothies. You might just have a blender at home. I've got actually a machine here that has two 16-ounce cups that actually are in and of themselves a blender. They're both blenders, and or actually smoothie makers, I should say, or processors. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of divide this up. What do I have today? I've got a fresh pineapple, some bananas, I've got some strawberries that I've already prepared, I've got some blueberries which are cleaned and washed, and I've got some black raspberries which are also cleaned and washed, and some cherries, some fresh black cherries that I've pitted. On this side of the table though, let's get away from the fruit side a little bit. I've got some whole flaxseed. This is actually empty, it's all poured into my grinder here. I use a standard coffee grinder to grind my flaxseed. I've got a pack of instant high fiber oatmeal. I've got some reduced fat peanut butter, all natural peanut butter, and got a little bit of honey, and I've got here some walnuts, some fresh walnuts. So, what are we going to do with all this stuff? Well, we're going to make two different smoothies. One's going to be on the fruity side and one's going to be on the nutty side, with some fruit in it as well. And one other thing we're going to need, didn't want to get it out because I didn't want it to spoil, we've got some all-natural fat-free plain yogurt, and we've also got some skim milk. Now you can use soy milk as well if you don't want to use a skim milk, which is standard milk. I oftentimes use soy, but today I'm going to use the standard fat-free, it is also fat-free, skim milk, because all your skim milks are fat-free. So, how are we going to start this all up? How did I get these clean? Let me show you how I cleaned the strawberries and how I cleaned the cherries. Blueberries, basically you just wash those under cold water and take out any ones that look rotten or bad. Black raspberries, same way. No cleaning needed on the bananas. So, I'm going to take you over here to the sink and show you how I prepared the strawberries and the black cherries. I'm using a little tool to do the cherries that you might not have ever seen before. It's kind of cool. Okay, we start by thoroughly washing our cherries and our strawberries. We're going to start with the strawberries. That's a nice big plump strawberry. What you do is you simply take and cut off the stem part of the strawberry. Now, you could leave this strawberry whole like this, but in order to make the smoothie, you might want to also core it just a little bit at the top here, like that. Now, like I said, you could leave it whole, but what I like to do is I like to take and at least quarter the strawberry, like that. So it's in 4 pieces. Now, very simple. Wash them thoroughly, quarter them, taking the stem off. The next thing we have here is we've got our cherries. These cherries are washed thoroughly as well. Now here, I've got something called a cherry pitter. How does it exactly work? Well, it works something like this. Well, let me see if I can figure it out. There. We unlock it, we take the cherry, and we place the cherry into the pitter so that the stem side is up once the stem's been removed. Something like that. Now, we take and push, and out pops our stem, or out pops our pit, our cherry pit, or the seed of the cherry, leaving the cherry with a small hole through it. Let's do that again. Take another cherry, stick it here in the pitter, and give it a push. Out pops the cherry seed or the cherry pit. Now, we use these cherries in our smoothie. You can see right through that one almost. And actually, I'm going to eat this one. Delicious. How do we do the pineapple? Well, let me back up a little bit so we can get the whole thing in and I'll show you. Okay, we're going to start by popping the top right off of the pineapple like this. Maybe. There we go. And now we've just got this big old pineapple. What are we going to do with that? We're going to take our knife and we're going to split the pineapple right down the middle like this. Right down the center. There we go. And you're going to end up with 2 pineapple halves. Looks delicious, doesn't it? Now we're going to take and we're going to cut the bottom off, because the bottom sometimes will even get a little mold on it. That's no problem, that's on the outside. And we're going to take now and cut just the very top of the pineapple off, so it looks something like that. Now we're going to take this and we're going to make it quarter it. We're going to go right down the center of the hard part and we're going to quarter the pineapple like this. Now you're going to take your knife and, kind of like you fillet a fish, you're going to take this core and you're going to work your knife down and cut the hard core out of the pineapple, something like that. I don't normally cut that direction, but I wanted to get a good shot of that. So now once we're done with that, we're going to take this and we're going to then split it one more time. Again, my angles might be kind of weird with my hands and the way I'm cutting. That's just so you get a better view. Just do it in a fashion that you're careful. Now take your knife and just make some cuts down the pineapple like this. We'll do the same thing over here. Just make some cuts down the pineapple like this. And now take your knife and go right down almost against the back of the pineapple here like this. It might be best if you cut away from you though. Let me see if I can get a shot of that and be safe at the same time. I brought a spoon over for the yogurt. Let's start with the fruit smoothie. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put about probably about 3 nice pineapple chunks in there. I'm going to put about 1, 2, 3, like 4 cherries in there. I'm going to put in a little bit of blueberries. How many am I going to put in? Oh, I don't know. This looks like it'll probably be about an 1/8 cup to a 1/4 cup of blueberries. We're going to put some of these raspberries in there. I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Now hold on. Let's get this one starting to blend. Ready? Let's get that blended so it goes down. Ooh, that's really starting. That went down a lot because we need room to fit more things in here. Now, banana. This smoothie is going to have anywhere from a half a banana to a whole banana in it. Let's take a look here. We'll start with about a half of the banana. And I'm going to add a couple strawberries. 1, 2, some strawberries. 3. Let's throw some yogurt in there on top of all that. I'm making these one at a time. Let's put our lid back on here. And banana on there. Let's turn it on. It's blending up quite well. Okay, now we're going to have to help it. Now, a lot of people add ice to their smoothies, but what I do is I put these fruits in the freezer for about a half hour to an hour before I make the smoothie. What are the health benefits here? Well, there are many. A lot of antioxidants in a lot of this fruit. Good for your heart healthy. And these are very low in fat, and they're going to be very high in fiber too. Take a look here. Okay, that's getting somewhere now. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this skim milk to thin it down just a little bit. Not much, because that thing's pretty full. We're pretty much filled to the top on this one. Here we go. How long do you want to blend these? Till they're pretty well blended and nice and smooth as they can become. Okay, there's one of the smoothies. Let me grab a glass here. Nice glass. Here we go. Watch this. Let me come pour this for you. Oh, this looks great. Wipe my hands a little bit. I'm going to pour this, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to top it with too. To top these off on a hot summer day, when you don't feel like cooking, and these are a whole meal in themselves, we're going to use some fat-free whipped cream topping. Ready? Here we go. Let me go pour this over here. Are you ready to see this thing poured? Here we go. Wow, look at that. It looks awesome. Top that off with some whipped cream. And there you have it. Let's try it. Oh. Oh. Mmm. Okay, that's out of this world. Got it all over me. Let me wipe off here a little bit. Let's move on to the next smoothie. Now this one's a little bit different. This one's got walnuts. Here I've got about maybe a 1/4 cup of walnuts. I'm going to dump those in there. All natural peanut butter. And how much of this do we want to put in there? I want to put in there about a heaping teaspoon of peanut butter. I call this the Elvis, this one. This is kind of a cool one. There's a heaping teaspoon of peanut butter in there. Now, oh, come on, keep going, keep going. There we go. We're going to put some honey in here. How much honey? Probably about a teaspoon of honey. There we go, just to give it a little flavor. Next, we're going to grind some flaxseed. I'm going to unplug my blender here for a second and show you how I grind this flaxseed. When we start out with a whole flaxseed. But what we end up with is a ground up fine flaxseed. Kind of looks like sawdust. Okay. How much of that do I have in here? I started out with about not even an eighth cup, just under an eighth cup of flaxseed. We're going to go ahead and pour most of that in there, all of that in fact. There we go. Okay, let's unplug that so we have some power to our blender. There we go. Next thing I want to do, what am I forgetting here? This has to have banana, of course. Well, I still have a half one here I'll use. In fact, this one I'll probably end up putting another half in. This will be a whole banana. So another half. So the 2 banana halves in there. And now our oats. We need our oats in here. And this one is like a whole meal. So you've got an instant pack, a pack of instant oats in there. Awesome. Now you can also add some fruit to this if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave this one alone with just peanut butter, banana, and oats, and walnuts. This is one that I really enjoy. Now we're going to also put in there about 2 tablespoons of the fat-free yogurt, 2 heaping tablespoons. 1, 2. And we're going to start blending that up now with the other lid here. Okay, here we go. There, it's starting to blend, I see it. Okay, let's give that another push. Actually, we'll add a little bit more milk, about an 1/8 cup. So that we got about a 1/4 cup of milk in this one. And there it went, I saw it go down. So here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. You want to pulse this, start and stop. Gives time for the ingredients to settle to the bottom where the blade is. Okay, that's about done. Make sure all of your ingredients are very cold. You can even refrigerate or freeze your banana if you want to. Look how thick and delicious that looks. Now you're thinking, what? There's nuts and there's oatmeal in that. But that's right. This is my dinner tonight. This is a whole meal in and of itself. That's a smoothie you can really sink your teeth into. That's Smoothies, the Mr. G way. Thanks for watching Quick and Healthy with me, Mr. G. See you next time.